A heavily armed Russian warship has been spotted escorting a huge sanctioned cargo vessel through the English Channel in Moscow's latest move. It comes as Russia has been ramping up weapons shipments from Syria amid its grinding war in Ukraine. The Royal Navy shadowed corvette Boyki for 3 days as it guided the Baltic Leader, a merchant vessel sanctioned by the U.S. for transporting Russian military hardware through UK waters. Hannah Somerset, a Type 23 frigate, watched every move as the warship and cargo ship transited the North Sea and Channel, deploying its Merlin helicopter to gather intelligence while working alongside NATO allies. A Royal Navy spokesman said, "The British Type 23 frigate utilized its powerful sensors and radars to report on Russian movements, launching her Merlin helicopter from 814 Naval Air Squadron to gather valuable information from the sky." The ship worked hand in hand with UK patrol aircraft and allied NATO forces during the operation, providing constant watch on the task group. The operation began on March 1 as Boyki sailed south through the North Sea and English Channel to meet the Baltic Leader and escort it back to Russia. The Royal Navy continued to monitor the warship for the return journey, tracking the vessels as they passed Ushant, near France, before heading through the Channel. It marks the second time this year Somerset has been activated to track Russian vessels, following its shadowing of the suspected spy ship Yantar in January. The mission also comes just 2 weeks after HMS Iron Duke, HMS Tyne, and RFA Tide Force monitored 5 Russian ships, including 3 merchant vessels, sailing from Syria to a Russian Baltic port. The Baltic Leader is believed to be part of the so-called Syrian Express, a Russian supply route transporting military equipment from its base in Tartus, Syria, back to the front lines in Ukraine. Satellite images taken on February 1 show heavy artillery and military vehicles lined up at the port of Tartus before being loaded onto Russian cargo ships. The Times reported that crew on Boyki were seen burning papers and manning the ship's machine guns as they accompanied the Baltic Leader. Armed officers and men in military fatigues were also spotted on the deck of the cargo vessel, suggesting it was carrying valuable military hardware. Since mid-February, we have seen a number of Russian-flagged cargo vessels sail from Syria into the Mediterranean and through the English Channel, said Joseph Byrne, senior analyst at the Open Source Center. He added, "They have exhibited highly similar patterns of life, including switching off their transponders when entering Syrian waters and ports, not broadcasting their final destinations, and appearing to sail through the Channel with a military escort for protection." With Ukraine growing increasingly adept at targeting Russian naval assets in the Black Sea, Moscow has resorted to longer, more expensive routes to supply its forces. James Droxford, of the intelligence consultancy Droxford Maritime, warned that the cargo ships represent a significant strategic risk for Moscow. He said, "Ukraine could destroy hundreds of tons of vital Russian military material in one go by attacking the ships, and that's a huge risk for Russia to take." KLSFR tougher restrictions. Western officials have raised concerns over Russia's ability to continue using the English Channel for sanctioned military shipments. The EU has debated imposing restrictions on Russia's Dark Fleet of shadowy cargo ships. But under international law, Britain cannot legally block passage through its territorial waters. Turkey has also faced pressure to prevent Russian weapons shipments from passing through the Bosphorus Strait, though Moscow insists the vessels are civilian-owned and thus exempt from wartime naval restrictions. With more Russian arms shipments expected in the coming weeks, the Royal Navy remains on high alert, continuing its routine yet high-stakes mission of keeping a watchful eye on Moscow's movements.